Hello gamers and future friends, today I will be reviewing Momodora Moonlit Farewell. To be terse, if you are a fan of Metroidvanias, this isn't necessarily a must-buy, but if you are looking for a game to fill the void until Silksong comes out, this is a great start. With its unique art style, despite its pixel graphics, with its generosity to coddle you when it comes to collectibles, and what the boss encounters lack in entertainment, they make up for in their designs, all put together for a quick and fun Metroidvania experience. If any of these remarks need justification, here is my review of Momodora Moonlit Farewell. I started by saying this Metroidvania isn't a must-buy. That statement is true for the majority of gamers out there. If you're someone who hasn't played through all the big ones, Hollow Knight, Ori, the Ori series, Bloodstained, Dead Cells, Haiku the Robot, two of my personal favorites, Islets, and Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, then those are the must-buys I recommend. But if you are someone like me who's played all those, I highly recommend keeping the Metroidvania streak going and picking up Momodora. As far as pixel graphics go, it's hard to argue Momodora isn't a beautiful game. There's so much detail in one image, it leaves you getting lost or invested in the world. You see fallen enemies or NPCs and constantly ask yourself questions, trying to better understand the lore of this world. Now, though there are plenty of NPCs, this is where it took a slight turn. When you first boot up Momodora, there are roughly 15 NPCs, give or take. You run to each one, talk to them, then immediately begin your adventure. And that's the last you see or speak to the NPCs. They have one, maybe two dialogue texts, and that's it. There's no quests, there's no assistance, there's no story arc, no lore. Just, hey, what's up? Nothing, I'll see you later. This frustrated me when I noticed some potential with these one-line dialogues. Take this store clerk, for example. You walk into a store, and he obviously has a crush on the character. He speaks nervously to you, and I thought to myself, cool, I might have a story with this guy, or be presented with options to determine outcomes. But no, nothing happens with him, and when you come back, he just repeats the same dialogue over and over from the beginning. Some of my favorite NPCs consist of the fairy mother and her fairies that offer collectibles similar to the caterpillars in Hollow Knight. After collecting a certain amount, they give you rewards for— Hey! Are you guys listening? This shit's important. There are really only 3 NPCs to build lore on: this lady and gentle giant, and your sister who creates sigils for you. They pretty much follow you to every area of the map where your sister is training to become a fighter like yourself, but ultimately fails in the end, and these two who are trying to transcribe ancient texts to better understand what and why this is happening. I also said in the beginning that this game coddles you with collectibles. What I meant by that is there is no mystery during your exploration. Your map tells you every room where a hidden item is. Items that increase health, magic, attack power, or even ones that give you a companion that actually does absolutely nothing, but they just follow you around, which is kind of cool. However, with a game like this, I felt this was the right path. Some of these secret areas would have been impossible to find without a guide, and this game fell perfectly on the playtime entertainment chart. With only asking 6 hours to beat, including full exploration and collectibles, I can say I was entertained the entire time. There was never any dragging on or downtime. Last, I'd like to talk about the bosses. These bosses had zero difficulty. Most of them could be beaten just by spamming the attack button and just taking hits. There really wasn't— Hey! Stay focused. This game was also very generous when it came to healing and taking damage, so much that when faced with a boss, you would just spam attacks and trade hits until you were almost dead, just for you to be able to fully heal with a single flask, and not to mention, you get 10 of them. And with all this combined, I actually didn't die a single time. Now, I understand I've said some negative things with every aspect of this game, but don't let that confuse you. Yes, there are flaws, but overall, it's a fun experience. The combat is fluent, the story is well told, worlds are filled with such detail that this game could almost, in a good way, be called a manipulative one. They throw large bosses at you thinking the struggle is more than it is. They show you multiple NPCs thinking the world is larger and more involved than it is. The detailed areas imply the world is more interesting than it is. They did an amazing job of making a simple game seem like it's larger than it is, which is actually a great thing. Simple experience with all the benefits. This review is getting pretty long, so I'll close by saying I really hope you all pick up Momodora. It's a beautiful pixel Metroidvania, and a perfect game to play to fill the void prior to Silksong being released, which let's all now bow our heads and pray it will be released in 2024. And that does it here, gamers and future friends. I hope you all have a wonderful day.